all other objects orbit around it. This geocentric model served as the predominant cosmological system in many ancient civilizations, such as ancient Greece. As such, most ancient Greek philosophers assumed that the sun, moon, and stars and naked eye planets circled the earth, including the noteworthy systems of Aristotle and Ptolemy. So you even had Greek philosophers back then, right, who knew that the earth was the center. But like I said, you had the other side, these dudes that were so into the sun worship, they couldn't accept that, man. And that's when that whole thing started to creep into that Greek society, man. And then it fulfilled itself in the Renaissance period, man. It says, two commonly made observations supported the idea that the earth was the center of the universe. The first observation was that the stars, sun, and planets appeared to revolve around the earth each day, making the earth the center of that system. Which, that's it. That's scientific fact. You can see it with your own eye. Every star was a stellar or celestial sphere, of which the earth was the center, that rotated each day, usually aligned through the north and south pole as an axis. The stars closest to the equator appeared to rise and fall the greatest distance, but each star circled back to its rising point each day. The second common notion supporting the geocentric model was that the earth does not seem to move from the perspective of an earthbound observer, and that it is solid, stable, and unmoving. In other words, it is completely at rest, which that's the case. The earth doesn't move, man, right? The earth does not move. This is the truth. The geocentric model was usually combined with a spherical earth by ancient Greek and medieval philosophers. It is not the same as the older flat earth model implied in some mythology. So they're showing you here that bullshit that Bible believers and all that believe the earth was flat, that was madness, man. You see, because the scriptures tell you in Isaiah, it's either the 41st, let me just quickly check it. Right, Isaiah the 40th chapter and the 22nd verse. Let me get up on screen. And that was written around 700 BC. So that just shows you, all that madness. But they always knew the earth was a circle, man. You had certain heathens that were unlearned, or they would make up stories. But that's just stories, man. That's fables. Our forefathers, man, didn't believe that madness, man. Right, Isaiah 14:22 says, "It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth." Right? "And the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in." Right? And before you mans get simple, we'll look at that word circle. It's a chawag, and it means circle, circuit, compass. Okay? So they always knew the earth was round. Right? However, the ancient Greeks believed that the motions of the planets were circular and not elliptical, a view that was not challenged in Western culture until the 17th century through the synthesis of theories by Copernicus and Kepler, which, like I said, these were both Satanists, man, just like Darwin, devils, liars, sun worshippers. Right? So that's just a little background on that. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into the scriptures, and then after we get these scriptures out, then we're going to go into some scientific information through observation of our world, man, and show you that the Bible is telling the truth. So let's get the scripture here. Psalms 82:5. It said, "They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness." And that's talking about really in this day and age, the whole world is in darkness, man. But really, that's talking about 2/3 of our people, man. Because a lot of our people walking around out there, they actually believe, and they will argue the point that the sun is the center of the universe, center of our so-called solar system. But that's not the case. So you're walking in darkness. and it says all the foundations of the earth are out of course. Right, the fundamental knowledge of this earth is out of course, man. The nature of this earth is out of course because of the so-called white man, because he seek to change times and laws, man. And that's why you average people out there don't have a fucking clue about the true nature of the world that you live in, man, because you've had the wool pulled over your eyes, so to speak. Okay, so the first scripture we're gonna get Genesis, the first chapter, right, and we'll start from 1, and it reads Genesis 1:1. It says, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. So that right there, that's a cut. That's the first cut. Okay, that shows you the earth is the beginning and the center, because the Lord created the earth first, the heaven and the earth. Right, so you had the earth, then you had the elements surrounding the earth. Right, your plasma, the four states of matter. You got your plasma, your gases, your solid, whatever. All that is just elements anyway, just in different states or forms. The Lord created that first. Then it said the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Right, the waters meaning the elements. And God said, let there be light. So by that, the Lord actually created illuminated particles, man. Certain particles would be luminous and some wouldn't, man. So, and God said, let there be light. And the main power producing light in the universe is electricity, man. In fact, when you go into the study, you'll find out that the sun and all these illuminated bodies are all illuminated through the power of electricity, man. Through the conduction of a current. They're basically God-made light bulbs, man. Giant light bulbs, man. And I don't mean with a glass case and all that. They're basically giant iron balls which emit light through the conduction of electricity, man. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. And there was light, and God saw the light that it was good. So you had illuminated particles already within the universe at that point. And God divided the light from the darkness. So you had illuminated particles in one point, and you had non-illuminated particles in another point. Put in scientific terms, particles which emitted photons over here, particles that didn't emit photons over there. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. So even if you didn't have the sun and the moon, you would still have day and night. Albeit day wouldn't be as bright as it is, because the day is further illuminated through the light of the sun, but you would still have a day and you still have a night. Right? Because those were created before the sun and the moon were created, okay? And the evening and the morning were the first day. So that means the light was created, the dark was created, and the earth was created before there was even a sun and a moon. Okay? And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And that's your sky and your Van Allen belt and such things, which divide the elements which are above the earth, the elements on the earth and above the earth, from the elements which are in the outer universe. Okay? And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. So in the beginning you had what the scholars call Pangea, meaning what's the word? Pan. I know pan means let me get the correct term because I don't want to go off. So we're gonna look it up in the dictionary, man. But basically it means it was just one continent, man. Because Gea is where you get the earth, which is you get that demonic spirit they worship called Gaia. It's the etymology. Right, pan meaning earth. Sorry, pan plus Greek earth. Yeah. Right. Right, all or everything. Okay, so Pangea meaning all earth, so it was all in one place. Okay, so all the continents you see today were used to be all connected. Okay, so it says here, and God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to skip down. Right, so after the third day, this is in the fourth day now, from the 14 verses, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. Right, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Right, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. So the sun and the stars and that were created 4 days, basically 3 days after the creation of the earth. So common sense will tell you that the earth is the center of the whole masterpiece, man. It's the foundation. So we're gonna go into more scriptures, man. So that's just the first point right there, man. The earth was created first. Well, we got more scriptures to back up what we're saying, man. So this is First Esdras 4 and 34. And it reads, O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun in his course, for he compasseth the heavens round about, and fetcheth his course again to his own place in one day. So that's a straight cut. He just said, man, in the scriptures, that the sun has a course, right, which is set for it. And in his course, he compasses the heavens round about, meaning he travels around the sky and fetches his course again to his own place in one day. Right? So it runs a circuit, man, a continuous circuit. So that's a cold cut right there. That's coming straight out of the scriptures. Now, I'm going to show you many scriptures speaking of the sun being the one that moves and not the earth that moves. Just the language of the scriptures lets you know what's going down. So we're going to get Genesis 15 and 17. And like, there's many references to this, so I'm only going to get a few. We get 17, we get 12 first. 15 and 12. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. The key to that is the sun was going down. See, the earth is not the one that's moving. The sun is moving. The sun was going down. That's plain in English. Genesis 15 and 17.